Thank you, Julie. Thank you for asking me to speak to the group. It's fascinating to hear about what Rob has been doing at the Commonwealth Education Media Center for Asia, which is the only center outside of Vancouver, managed by the Commonwealth of Learning. Many of you may be familiar with COL, who is part of ICDE, but CENCA is a regional center, the only center outside Vancouver, managed by a group of people here, and I direct the operations. Um, we have been working similar to the Commonwealth of Learning in mainly 5 verticals. We are involved in higher education, teacher education, open schooling, and skills for work. And as a cross-cutting domain, we work in gender-related areas. So that's our mainstay. And we were instituted by the Commonwealth governments to promote open and distance learning. So as an organization that works closely with COL, as the regional center, we work in 8 countries in Asia, predominantly in India, partly because India has everything in it, large number of universities, large number of institutions and teachers and so on. But also India has quite a few challenges because of the geography as such. But we also work in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei, apart from India. In the recent years, we have embarked upon 2 major projects, which in collaboration with COL. First one is what we call the teacher in the loop of AI, to figure out if we can harness, train one of the AI tools to look into our own open education resources to generate newer resources, which would be useful for a large number of teachers. In other words, it's curating the existing OER with a purpose attached to it. Now we are working with the 9th standard mathematics teachers to look at all the OER content to see if the content can be further tailor-made into lesson plans, activity plans, assessment plans, and so on, which could be put out for use in rural and remote areas, particularly amongst teachers who do not have enough resources and teaching material to teach and interact with the students. So this is an experiment that we are undertaking. Not only in India. In India, we are looking at mathematics as a subject, but in Ghana, we are looking at biology. In the Caribbean, we are looking at fashion design and Tibet. So we are basically looking at how we can use the AI tool to train those in harvesting content that could be further tailor-made and customized to the needs of different user community. So that's one of the interesting projects. So the second project is around graduate employability, particularly in open and distance learning institutions where the faculty members seldom get to interact with the learners, because the mainstay has been the self-learning material, which is provided for the students. And interestingly, in India, we are implementing this project again in India amongst 18 open universities together, who have an enrollment of 4.8 million rather, learners in the tertiary system. So now, turning this 4.8 million into with competencies and skills towards employability is a major challenge, given the fact that some of the universities have students as large as 750,000, to some universities, of course, have 100,000 students. So how do we now engage with them and look at our curriculum and also the engagement practices, learner support practices, and so on, to tune it to the employability prospects, particularly working in collaboration with the industry and the marketplace in terms of energizing of partnerships, but also bringing in certain innovations like apprenticeship embedded programs, industry-led curricula, and also involving the industry largely in geographies where there are skills gaps that are identified. So this is an interesting project. We have just initiated this in the month of December last year, and we have embarked upon this journey, but we'll be working on this for the next 3 years. But there are quite a few challenges with regard to the open and distance learning. We don't, the very fact that the front end, frontline managers for the learners or the study centers, local study centers, who are not direct employees of the open universities, rather they are partners. And how do you also promote the idea of blended learning, employability, and the larger interest of creating the future generation with the right skills and competencies, so that they not only serve the Indian market, but also go out and serve the global market. So there is a huge challenge here. Many universities are not prepared, but we are looking into the various building blocks that would give them a framework, and they will be able to implement the policy. What keeps me awake in the night? Of course, we are a small organization, but we are expected to do big things. So it's energizing the partners and working with them in a manner that we could collaboratively contribute to the larger ecosystem is something that keeps me awake. But I'm looking forward to more partnerships with our colleagues within the TIN. Thank you, Jill.